3 months ago, I made a video review on the AKG N700NC, and those were one of my favorite ANC headphones that I have ever reviewed. I said the sound quality was superb. I said some negative things, but honestly, they were one of my favorite pair of headphones. And at the end of that video, I said if AKG were to tune a few things about those headphones, it would be one of my favorites and I would keep it. Well, flash forward 3 months later, and AKG has made their second variant, and I have them right here. This was sent to me from Australia, so to whoever the seller is, thank you for providing these for me. We paid a really decent price, but today's video, we're gonna unbox and review the AKG N700NC's M2. We're gonna see if AKG has listened, let's see if they've improved on some things, and we're gonna find out if these are worth the price tag. And the price point for these headphones are different from last year, and I can't believe just how different they are. Hey, what's up everybody? Michael here, welcome back. Now, to most of my regular subscribers, this is not my tech show, but to random people that are watching this, I have a tech show that I call Technoid, so this is a special edition of Technoid, and today's episode, as I said, is going to review the AKG N700NC M2. We are going to do an unboxing, first impressions, we're going to do everything like I did before. I will leave a link if you want to check out my previous video. Now, before we start this, I want to clarify, give the backstory. The N700NC M2s are only available, well, they were only available in Europe. AKG, for some reason, decided to release these in Europe before yesterday finding out that they are released in America. AKG, can I please just ask one question? Just one. Why release them in Europe if you're gonna release them literally a month later in America? Well, actually kind of 2 months really, but still, release the thing worldwide. But, hey, I don't care. I got my hands on them. They do work with American products. The seller has confirmed that. He has tried them out for himself. So we're going to unbox and take a look. So enough chit-chatting. And yes, I'm keeping these. The last time I said I had financial problems, so I couldn't keep them. This time, I'm keeping them. So let's take a look at this thing. Let's crack the unboxing and let's get to the breakdown. So here is the N700NC M2 out of the shipping box, and here's what it looks like. Now, at first glance, you can notice already the biggest difference from last year's. When last year's had a silver version, this year it comes in black. Now, remember last year I talked about design and I thought it looked okay. This time around with this new black design makes it look a lot more sleek. It honestly looks really cool. Now, we're gonna unbox this thing. The seller has unopened it, so it's brand new, never been opened. As you can see, the seals are still there. So let's take our little scissors. But before we also take a look inside the box, let's take a look at the back. So on the back, it says here that it has 23-hour battery life with the noise canceller on, and if you plug them in wired, you get 32 hours of battery life. The N700 comes with a 3.5mm headphone jack to 2.5, which I guess they did not change. Talks about the frequencies, it talks about the breakdown of the headphones, and for the first time, it comes with USB Type-C. So that is a major plus. I complained about that last year as well. So it's good to see that they were listening on that. So let's crack this bad boy open. You know. All right. So now that we've got the tape off, let's pull these out. And here they are. So the first thing we're greeted with is a message from AKG design team talking about what they did differently this time. If you want to read it, you can pause the video here. I'll even zoom in a little bit so you guys can see. If you want to read it, you can pause the video. Now taking a look at the unboxing, and I've always said I really enjoy Harman's unboxing of these things. Flip them up, and there they are, the N700NC's M2. Here it is in the box. Now, one big difference from last year is the carrying case is much smaller. Last year's carrying case was just too big and bulky. This year they changed that, and I like that. I like that they changed it. As a matter of fact, these headphones feel smaller than last year's, but we'll have to see that in the initial test. Inside the box, though, if you want to take a further look, we have our little booklets of instructions and warranty. You don't really need to worry about that. In this compartment here, excuse me guys, we have our accessories, which includes a braided AKG USB Type-C cable, which is nice. I really like the fact that these have USB Type-C. We also get our headphone adapter. Now, I don't understand why they went with 2.5. I really don't understand what they were thinking, but honestly, who cares? I mean, look, we'll break that down later. And also in the box, if you want to also take a look, it comes with an airplane adapter, which is very, very convenient if you go on an airplane and you want to use these. So that's a very good convenience factor right there. So that is everything in the box. Now let's open up the packaging. Oh, I'm sorry, packaging. Let's open up the headphones. I really like that they listen though. That's the one thing I'm liking right now is they listen. It says here, something over here on the side. The carrying case is definitely nice, I gotta say. And woo, okay. All right, so here are the N700NC's M2. Now, these are really small compared to last year's. Wow, that is incredible. All right, so this is the headphone. This is what it looks like. Now let's flip it over to me. We can get our thoughts on what I think these look like. All right, so here are the N700NC M2, and my God, these things are so much different from last year. Last year's, they were much bigger, they looked bulky, they looked funny. This year, they tweaked it. Like, AKG actually listened. I'm actually shocked. From the unboxing alone, from the size of the carrying case, just taking off a sticker, guys, to this, it's really amazing. I'm thoroughly shocked right now. AKG, you actually listened. That is really incredible. I'm not saying you guys never listen, but this is phenomenal what you guys were able to do. So taking a look at these headphones, build quality wise, they feel so much different from last year's. These feel more premium built. You do still have your little plastic, but it doesn't feel as cheap, which I like a lot. The headphones are much smaller. Now, when you put them on, the ear cups are also a little smaller this year. And yeah, they still look similar to last year's, but they don't look as bad as last year's. You have the padding at the top to protect your ears. The ear cups feel nice and snug. They don't feel too wobbly. They honestly feel a little less like, you know, clampy, but nice and easy. Whereas last year's, there was a lot more room. So these fit my ears perfectly. They do swerve in and out. And honestly, these things look so much better than last year's. The black makes them look really good. Now you do have your head here, you could adjust. And another difference from last year, this thing would just continue to slide, it wouldn't stop. Whereas this year you could click it in and now you can just set it to whatever you want. So it doesn't have to keep moving in and out, in and out. Now, let's put it on one more time. Now, there is one thing, I think the buttons don't click. I think they were saying it would work the assistant, but it doesn't show that the buttons are clicking. But let's put these on one more time. I forgot what side these are. So here we go, let's put these on. Yeah, they feel comfortable. They honestly, I mean, yeah, they still look a little, but they definitely are much different from last year's. Whereas last year's was a little bit more bigger, these are a lot more smaller. And honestly, this is going for a little more minimum profile. What that means is that they're trying to compete with like Bose, with the noise canceller 700, whatever those headphones are called. And honestly, I'm shocked right now. AKG actually listened. So now we're gonna get into the test. So we're gonna connect these things to my iPad, and what we're gonna do from this point forward now is we're gonna do a noise canceller test. We're gonna see how these sound. We are gonna see how it works with the ANC. Let's see if they've improved on that. Sound quality, any last minute thoughts, and then the thoughts. So let's get the breakdown going. Alright, so the ANC headphones are connected to my iPad. The noise cancelers are on right now, and right away I can notice a big difference from last year's. Immediately when I put these on, the buttons felt flimsy, but this year they feel a little more sturdy. But the noise canceller actually feels a lot different from last year's. So let me explain. Last year's I was able to hear myself even with these things on, and it built up a lot of cabin pressure. This year, however, I can hear myself slightly less, and I don't feel any cabin pressure in these. And that's a good start, because last year I hated the cabin pressure. So now we're gonna do the noise canceller test, because we actually have to test these out. But so far, I like what I'm hearing so far. I like how it's going. So let's do a test. So we're gonna do 3 tests. We're gonna do a transportation test, an airplane test. Now obviously these are being used via 2 Bluetooth speakers, the Wonder Booms, and they will be on full blast. I'm going to make sure of it. And also, I want to give these as best as I can and accurate, so the sounds are gonna be the best. So let's start with the airplane mode. Here we go, airplane is on. Noise canceller is on. Okay, so obviously something didn't change from last year. I can still hear the airplane. Now obviously on a real airplane, it'll probably sound different, but for right now with 2 speakers at full blast, with these things on, I can still hear the jet engine rumbling. While it does reduce it, I can still hear it. And it's not as strong as I thought it was going to be, even though I thought initially. But it does reduce it by a lot, I will say. It does reduce it, but you could still hear the rumbling. Let's try it one more time. Full blast. Now, yeah, it reduces the noise, but it doesn't really take out the full noise like the Bose or the Sony. So it didn't do so well on that. Now let's move on to transportation noise. Here we go. Let's try it out. Okay. All right, right there. Nope. It did. Now, one thing I do remember, I want to emphasize, on here there is another button that actually increases the noise cancellation, and in the EQ app as well. So I'm going to try that out just for examples, because I did forget that last year. Alright, let's see what happens. Alright, so this button is actually just to let in noise. That's a good thing. You turn that off and the EQ. Alright, sound went back. Actually sounds a lot lighter, so let's do this again. Okay. Yeah, it really didn't make a difference. The ANC is just not strong enough. Maybe when we're outside walking around and stuff, maybe that'll be a difference. But from what I'm hearing and from what I'm seeing is like, it's not as strong as I thought. Even though it feels different from last year's with not a lot of cabin pressure, it just is not as strong as I thought. But there is still one more test that we could do to maybe redeem itself. The baby noise. Alright, noise canceller is on full blast. Pray to God. Oh, thank you, God. Oh, my ears are saved. I can barely hear it. Okay, that's all I can take. But guys, this thing redeems itself with the baby noise. So listen, overall, the ANC is not... why am I yelling? But, okay, like last year, it's still not as strong. It is slightly better with less cabin pressure in your ears, but it still doesn't sound as best as I thought it would. It did a good job on the baby noise. Guys, you really gotta put these on and try it out for yourself. Trust me. Trust me on that. But the other noises, transportation and the plane, yeah, it really didn't do as best as I thought. It did take out the jet engine. I'm sorry, it took out the rumbling, but it didn't take out the jet engine. And for the noise, I could still hear the subway. Now, maybe in the real world, this will be a different scenario, but from right now with 2 loudspeakers at full blast, and these are at the max, you guys, I swear to God, I should put you out of your suffering for the baby noise, but I think you're gonna have to deal with it anyway. But the point is that this thing, the ANC is not as strong as I thought from last year. It's about the same. Although it is better with the cabin pressure, with less cabin pressure, so I will give it that. But of course, all headphones are not good without the sound quality. So we're going to test out the sound quality on these things. So I'm going to program these one more time into my iPad, and we're going to play some music on Apple Music. Because the last time everybody said, oh, you were playing it on YouTube. Well, this time we're going to use a music streaming service. Actually, I'll use Spotify. So let me connect these bad boys one more time. All right, bad boys, these things are connected, and let's take a look. So we're going to pull up a song on Spotify. Noise canceller is in here. For this test, let's play some rap. So I'm gonna play actually, you know what, let's just go down from the genre. So I'm gonna start with Spanish song, just for giggles. Ooh, all right, I hear you. Good. Okay, right away, guys, last year I love the sound quality. This year is no different. These things sound incredible, and they sound probably even better than last year. Now, if you're a bass head, you're not gonna like these headphones because the bass is not punchy in this, but it's blended in nicely. I can still feel slight rumbles in there. The vocals are crisp, the instruments are there. This is basically where the mids and highs are at, but it's blended in nicely. Like, I honestly am so blown away right now. Like, AKG really... I'm honestly, like, right now, I'm in shock at how much I'm enjoying this. The music was nice. This was a Spanish song, I forgot the name. Now let's listen to a rap song, The Next Episode by Dr. Dre. And let's go a little more louder. If you guys can hear it for yourself. Okay. For a rap song, it sounds nice. The bass is there, the vocals are nice, you hear the beats, and honestly, it sounds phenomenal. One more song, just for giggles and just for last one, I'm gonna put on one of my favorite songs, Stir Fry. These sound so great. Alright, I swear to God, I'm gonna be a meme by tomorrow. But guys, the sound quality on these things, I told you, last year they definitely sounded great. This year they sound even better. And honestly, there are gonna be a few things I wanna try out for this video because the last time I did not try them. So for this video, we're gonna try the wired version. We're gonna hear how it sounds wired. Using the iPad has a 3.5mm headphone jack, which is something that everything is lacking nowadays. Now, I don't get why they went 2.5 with this. I really don't understand, but honestly, you could make the argument that they probably wanted to increase sound quality. So I'm plugging these in hardwire. Usually when you plug in hardwire, they do sound a lot better. So let's see how they sound. And also, all right, plugged in. Let's try Stir Fry again. All right. So wired wise, it sounds about the same, but a little more emphasis on the mids and vocals. The bass is reduced slightly, but it's still there. You can still hear them. So honestly, these headphones, they sound incredible. They sounded, like I said, to me, they sounded better than the Bose, although I would have to try the new Bose and compare side by side. But right now, guys, I'm really loving this. Now, there are a few more things I want to do in this video before we end it. I want to do a few more. I want to do a microphone test so you guys understand how the microphone quality sounds on this. And lastly, we'll do some last minute tech specs and then I'll give my final thoughts. So let me connect these now to my phone and we will do a microphone. All right, so this is a microphone test on the AKG N700NC M2. I don't know how they sound to you guys. And one thing I will say, I noticed the noise cancelers sound a lot different when I connected them to my phone. Obviously, these were designed for Samsung products, so it does matter in a sense, but this is a microphone test. These are how they sound. Let me know your thoughts down below. What do you think these things sound like? I will listen back to it and I'll give my final thoughts after this. So I listened to the playback, and from last year's version, they do sound a little more cleaner. You're probably saying, oh, it sounds like my phone, but these were from the headphones. These were connected. Microphone was there, so these things do sound a little bit better on microphone quality wise. So I give props to that. Now, some final things I need to talk about before we give my final thoughts on these headphones. These are rocking Bluetooth 4.2, which I do not understand why they are doing that, but okay. Again, like I said, these have USB Type-C, which is a major positive because now you can have one cable to charge everything and it makes life so much easier. Again, it rocks 2.5 millimeters. Whether or not it has fast charging, I will update you in the comment section. I will let you guys know. And final thoughts, the buttons on the side, if you were hoping that these buttons click like you see here, AKG, these do not, unfortunately, for whatever reason, these do not, but they do work with the assistant. You just got to use the phrase, it'll work hands-free, or you're just going to have to hold the side button here on the side with the volume up and down, and then you have your play in the middle. You can hold that and it'll activate the assistant. So it does work with your assistants. And any last minute thoughts? Final thing is that these things, honestly, they just feel incredible. So final thoughts on these headphones. Guys, look, I'm not trying to be biased right now because, you know, I haven't reviewed the new Bose and stuff, and I will be reviewing them later on. But guys, AKG listened, and they listened big time. I didn't even talk about price yet because I'm saving that for a reason. Now, let's talk about the positives. The positives is these things are much smaller than last year's. They feel so much different from last year's. They honestly feel much better in value because they feel more premium built. These have a lot more metal now versus the last time. These are more versatile. The color choice, black, is a nice color. I give AKG props for picking a sick color like black. This is sick, I gotta say. These are not meant to be, you know, everyday headphones. They're meant to be for transportation when you're on the subway and stuff. But honestly, if you were to rock these every day, you would honestly be fine. I don't think these things look necessarily as bad as they did last year. They look fine to me. And honestly, they feel so much different. They're lighter. They have a lot more premium build. And honestly, the sound quality is phenomenal. Last year's, they were already great. AKG just made them even better. So honestly, this thing is amazing. Now, we do have to talk about some negatives. First negative is, why the hell does this have Bluetooth 4.2 when we are at Bluetooth 5.0? But listen, at the end of the day, I don't think that people are going to give a crap about that. But honestly, from a tech point of view, tech spec point of view, it would make more sense to just use Bluetooth 5.0. The 2.5 millimeter headphone jack adapter is a little stupid in my opinion, because here's a 3.5 millimeter. If I was to use that, it would not be able to fit. So you have no choice but to use the cable that they give you if you're going to use these wired, which is a major negative, because it would have been nice to have had the 3.5 millimeter. You could buy a 2.5 converter, but again, you're spending money. So I don't understand why they went 2.5 with this, but look, probably maybe for sound quality or something, but it doesn't make sense. And the next negative is just a noise canceller. The noise canceller is really what you buy these headphones for, and even though they do feel different from last year's with less cabin pressure, they're still not as strong. They're definitely nowhere near the Sonys or the Bose. They have better noise cancellation than I thought, but they're not to the point where it's like these are the best noise canceling headphones to buy to block out sound. No, these things are not as strong. But now we get into something why I saved it for last, the price. These things in America, I paid $220 for these. In America, these cost $299. Last year's model cost $349. So what does that mean? So last year they cost $350, and AKG listened because look, these things weren't worth $350 headphones. These aren't $350 headphones, and I don't think it's fair for average consumers and people to be paying $350. AKG listened and said, look, we're going to improve these things and we're going to price them better. $299. Look at what the Bose are going for, $399. That's $100 less than the Bose newest current. Now, whether or not the Sonys will be in that price range is debatable, but this thing is $299. Just let that sink in for a second. A headphone that cost $350 from last year went down by $50 with a better and improved version. And if you want to buy the other last year version, you could still pick them up for $249. So $50 even less if you're willing to take it. So this is really where my opinion comes down to. Are these better? Absolutely. Honestly, I gotta say, these are going to be my daily headphones from now on. These things not only nail it with sound quality, but it feels comfortable to wear. The design has been tweaked a little bit. It looks less awkward than before. It honestly looks much more sleeker with that black finish. I can't keep like raving on and on because then it would sound biased, but I'm being honest. For $299, these things more than justify the price. And I was scared because I made videos in the past saying how AKG may be pricing these at $499, but then I found out it was in foreign money. Look, AKG, if you're watching this, whether we are on the same page or not, I don't care. You listened and you listened well. You put USB Type-C on these. You've improved the noise canceller to an extent. You've tweaked the design where it doesn't feel as awkward to wear and less bulky. And overall, you've made these things worth the price point. So for me, if you asked me, should I buy these headphones? 100%. These are not only worth $299, but these are the best priced noise canceling headphones with the best sound quality in my opinion. Listen, we can all go back and forth, but honestly, AKG is a professional company. They know sound. If you want any further example, look at this. Galaxy Buds, they make the sound, they tune them, and these things sound phenomenal. So these are headphones made and tuned by them. So you should have no fear if they know anything about noise cancellation. So overall, final thoughts, if you have the money, definitely pick these up. I think these are worth the price point. You can live without the ANC because honestly, you're paying for the sound and these things sound superb. They are just amazing in sound quality. Now, I want to hear your guys' thoughts. What do you think of these noise cancellers? What do you think they sound like? And as always, guys, that's going to do it for this video. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. I hope you found it informative. I hope I did a good job. If not, you could leave the dislike button. But guys, that is going to do it for this video. If you liked the video, hit the like button. If you dislike the video, hit the dislike button. This is the AKG N700NC M2s. Thank you so much for watching and peace!